eye, y'all. First, I will show you the black eye. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. And it is really swelling up here. Really bad. So tomorrow, it'll probably look a lot worse than it looks today. That's always the way it is. You got to remember it happened last night. So, get over how bad I look. I have to get over it. Like I said, we're just going to laugh about it. Because how many people get head-butted by a dog? I don't know. Anyway, it's always something new with me. And like I said, I was compelled to do this. There was a live speech for President Trump just a few seconds ago. I went ahead and I listened to it. So I'm going to incorporate some of that into what I'm getting ready to tell you because it will fall into line. All right. So over the last few days, as you know, we've had people saying, we'll say the media has been saying that President Trump needs to concede and let the election go the way it is. We've had people calling Joe Biden the president-elect and saying his office of president-elect. He's building up his administration. You're still hearing things that were on the laptop from HB. And so there's just a lot of things going on. A lot of people don't dig, and I understand that it takes a lot of time and patience to dig and look for things. I do not have anyone from the Q team that texts me or sends me memes or anything like that. Everything that I get is from either digging or having a friend that I found online that's really good at digging, or what I hear and then tells me where to go to find the information or just gives me little hints. Those of you who have never watched any of my videos, I am clairvoyant, clairassistant, and I can't even think. Like I said, this is really messing me up. Where I'm able to see things happen before they happen. I hear things, and sometimes I just know things. I also have telepathy. I am more of a transmitter. So it doesn't mean that I couldn't get messages from somebody. It just means that I'm more of a transmitter. Some pretty neat stuff, I suppose. I've even touched dead animals and had the feeling I was like there when they were hurt. So there's just all kinds of different things I can do. And over this great awakening that we're getting ready to go into, my gifts have been becoming stronger. I've picked up new gifts, and I'm also been meeting people that have gifts, and a lot of them are saying that theirs has been getting really stronger as well. This is because we're getting ready to shift. Right now, we've been in the point where the evil has been controlling everything, and good has been kind of pushed back a little bit. Well, this is getting ready to turn. And this means that the evil will be pushed back down where it belongs, and the good will be over again. Does not mean that evil will be gone completely, because there has to be a balance. All right? If your balance is off, then it kind of makes things wacky. So you can't have too much good and no bad at all, because that's not balanced. You have to be balanced. Right now, we're kind of wacky. This is why people are wishy-washy. 1 minute you're okay, 1 minute you're not okay. It's because everything's trying to level out, so it's got emotions kind of going like this, like you're on a boat. One day you're happy, one day you're sad, one day you're mad, you don't know why. Yeah. So hopefully that explains a lot of that. So with all of the planets lining up, this hasn't happened in a long time. You're going to have what they call the Star David come back, and that's your two planets lined up, which is going to look like a really bright star. All of this is signs. Throughout history, God has always given us signs. Native Americans used animals as signs. So there's always been signs out there. Some people just didn't know how to interpret it. A lot of people who want you not to believe in God always call it something else. Oh no, that's just a freak of nature. And then they'll pull some kind of scientific reason why it happened. But when they do this, they don't tell you that this only happens 1 in a trillion times or something like that. So that does make it a miracle, people. Just because you can explain how it happened does not make it less than a miracle. All right? when a stranger saves you, all right? That person was compelled to do it, and sometimes they just act right on. Does that make it less than a heroic state? No, because maybe this person never in his life ever did anything like that. So, yes, these things are miracles. You have to quit trying to analyze everything and find out exactly how everything got together and figured it out, because sometimes things just happen like that. And I want people to quit saying that, oh, there's been no miracles since Jesus' times. No, there's been miracles every day. Every day, people. You just refuse to see them as a miracle. All right? So let's get into what was compelling me to get online today. All right. We all know that China is a communist country, and they are wanting to rule the world, make us all communist, all under their control. They've been doing this for a long period of time. They've been buying up land and buying businesses here in the United States. This was like a takeover, you can say, more or less. And that's concerned a lot of people for many years, that China's been buying land in this country, controlling it, which was never a good thing. But this goes back to the Clintons. It really does, and maybe even a little bit farther, I'm not for sure, but we definitely know that the Clintons were working with China. We know that Biden had been working with China. He got a lot of money from them. And then you have other people that have been in Congress and in the Senate, even governors, maybe even people lower than a governor, getting kickbacks and from China. Now, this is where it goes into the pedophilia. Let me explain that. Now, we do remember NXIVM. Please don't forget about NXIVM. NXIVM is still very important. Jeffrey Espy is still important, okay? Now, you've had these two different entities, were almost the same, but they were different. And what they were doing is they were blackmailing people, all right? Now, you may say, well, what has this got to do with anything? It has a lot to do with everything, okay? If you give somebody some type of drug, or you attempt them finding out what their fantasies are, what their likes are, and you tempt them, and that's what the devil does. He tempts you to do these things, and then they would film these people doing these things, okay? And then these people afterwards would maybe never do it again, maybe never wanted to really do it in the first place. We don't know. I'm not going to say whether or not. We're going to leave it as a basic, okay? Then they'd say, well, Congressman, I have this very damaging video of you and a 12-year-old little boy. And my people would like to make sure that this law does not pass. And we know right now that you have been a very strong advocate for this law. We need you to change your vote. And if you do not, the first people that will see this video is your wife and your children. Then we'll make sure your parents see it, your neighborhood sees it, and then we're going to put it out online as a leaked video so the whole world can see it. Now, we know how much you love your wife and your children, sir. And we know how damaging this could be to your political career. And we would like to see you get farther in this, maybe even to a presidential administration. So it would be probably in your best interest to do as my associates have asked you to do. We're going to give you 24 hours to reconsider. If not, then the video will be leaked. Have a nice day, Congressman. Okay, maybe something like that. Okay, so now this person is put in a pickle. And maybe this is a very important thing that maybe he ran his campaign on. Well, he doesn't want his wife and his children, definitely not his parents, to see this. And oh my goodness, that he has aspirations to maybe even get into the presidency and really wants to try to do some good. But now China owns him. You understand? See where I'm getting? This is where they use the children. Now, we can take this even further back into your mind control stuff, okay? The Nazis did a lot of mind control stuff. They tortured a lot of people. They did a lot of experiments. And I've already talked about this. After the war, we did take a lot of those scientists. They got into NASA. and they got into the CIA and other important administrations within our government. So those experiments never did stop, people. They never did. They've used mental hospitals. They've used prisoners in prison. They've even done experiments on our military men and women over the years. There's things where they were giving different soldiers syphilis to see how that affected them, to going into a hospital that people were just going in like that maybe had a little nervous breakdown, needed to get away from things and calm down, and did mind control ultra on them and ruined their lives forever. I've posted videos. I've talked about it before. These things are easily to be found. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, please do your own research. If you need help, you can always reach out to me, and I can help you find this stuff, tell you where to look, maybe even look it back up for you and post it so you can watch it. Important to understand what has been going on underneath our own noses, okay? Some people for many years have been trying to speak out, talk about this stuff, and they've been labeled a conspiracy theorist. It's coming out. So these people were not making it up. They were not imagining things, okay? And it's very sad that people have died over this stuff. And it's very sad that the media is still trying to claim that all this stuff is make-believe, it's in our heads, we're all crazy, when we're not. All right? We've all watched Hollywood movies, and do know that Hollywood is part of the Mind Control Ultra. They put things out there right where you can look at it, so you can say, well, that could never happen because that's make-believe. It's just a movie. No one would do something like that. Well, yes, they would. They've been doing it. And we've been shown. Now, my understanding is they have to tell you what they're doing. They don't come out and say, hi, I'm blah, 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 and I'm a Satanist, and I like to rape and murder children. They don't do it that way. They just put it in a movie. They write a book about it. They nonchalantly make jokes about it on Saturday Night Live. It's very disgusting. And then you hear people, oh, that's so funny. No, it's not. When is torturing a child become funny? Would you want to be tortured? Do you think that's funny? Do you want everybody to laugh at you being tortured? Probably not. So it's not funny. And we need to start taking this stuff seriously. All right? Now, I told you a very long time ago that this is like when Trump had, even before he got president, I told you we were in a battle for good and evil. And a lot of people just kind of ignored me. I think I'm crazy. I've had so many people come up to me and say, Jackie, at first I thought you were nuts, but I'm starting to understand now what you've been talking about, and I can't believe it. It is hard to believe, because we've been living in this matrix kind of thing, just going along with it, kind of like robots. You get up, you go to work, you deal with a bunch of stupid stuff at work. It drives you crazy. You want to go get a gallon of something to drink just to calm you down. You come home, you cook dinner, you feed your kids, or maybe you're the husband and you listen to what your wife has to say because she had a bad day of whatever she did, and then you take your bath, take your shower, whatever, you go to bed, and then you get up and you do it again. It's just kind of like every day, same old thing. You can't get your vacation, or maybe you don't have enough money for a vacation, or something like that. Something always happens, flat tire, engine blows up, something, so you don't have the money for this, you don't have the money for that, so you got to work more, and it's like a pounding compression on you, where you feel it on your shoulders, and you slunch over, and you're miserable. This is not how we're supposed to live, people. This is the evil. It's heavy. Now, here lately, the skies have been bluer. I've noticed it because I'm completely awake. Sometimes if I just look and try to look beyond what I'm looking at, it's hard to explain. I can see black smoke doing this. Like right now, I don't see it because I'm not trying to. But if I just get into a thing and want to see it, I can see it doing this. So I see it dissipating. The evil is dissipating. It is starting to trickle down like it's supposed to. You've had a lot of people been executed. You've had a lot of people going to Gitmo. You have a lot of people maybe going to other prisons and other places. This is all good. Now, a lot of you still say, well, Jackie, I saw this person on TV. This person just wrote an album. This person's in the news. How many times do I have to show you CGI effects? How many times do I have to show you that some of these people don't look like they used to look like? It's not from aging, and it's not from plastic surgery. All right? Bone structures can be changed, but I mean, these are pretty significant changes that a lot of these people have. All right? So, like I just read an article where it said Britney Spears is putting down the microphone and never going to perform again. Britney Spears has been arrested. Okay? She's been arrested. She hasn't been out performing in a very long time. All right? Christina Aguilera has been arrested. Gwen Stefani has been executed. I don't care. You just saw Gwen Stefani on The Voice. Her and Blake are having this great time. It says she's been executed. I believe she's been executed. This all goes back to the spirit cookie. All right? This stuff, you have to look it up, people. You have to look it up. You have to understand. There's a picture. I've posted it, I think, 2 different times. It is a barge that has a prison on it. And somebody would say, well, that's just made up stuff. Well, if you start really concentrating why you're not really seeing different people, or why you're seeing old articles of different people, why you're just seeing Twitter feed of people talking. We all know anybody can get on, pretend to be anybody they want to. I can get on and pretend to be Jesus Christ himself if I wanted to, because you can't see who I am. I'm just typing. All right? Anybody can get into someone's Twitter account, especially if you're paid to do this, and pretend to be somebody. I think what was it called that was going on? People getting on there and talking to other people online, trying to con them into coming to see them. Was it phishing or whatever it was called? It's the same thing, okay? So they're pretending to be somebody, and they're trying to get you to believe that they're that person. That goes on a lot, people, a lot. So you're going to see a lot of actors, singers, sports figures, and other people, CEOs, just start resigning a lot more. I've been talking about this for a long period of time. Some of them are going to die. Some of them are going to have some kind of disease that you had no idea they had before. Do know that they can pick and choose how they want to, excuse me, my sinuses are draining. Pick and choose how they want to get out of the limelight. So, I do have a list of people that have been executed and are arrested or are awaiting tribunals. Now, let's talk about our alphabet departments. CIA, FBI, DOJ, all of these 3-lettered alphabet departments. They've all been compromised. I believe all of them. And it's very sad. This is how deep it goes. Now, we know why JFK was assassinated, because he wanted to disband the CIA and break it down. And he was assassinated for it. His son wanted to make sure that it was exposed. And we know that Hillary wanted that seat in New York for the Senate because she was going to make a run for the president. Hillary was a very bad person. And I say was because she's no longer with us. So Donald Trump is picking up what JFK started, what JFK wanted to do, but he's doing it in a larger thing. Now, what he is actually, I don't know what he's going to call it, but it is called NESARA/GESARA. Now, I know I'm bouncing everywhere. It's because I'm trying to make sure that I get to where I want to go, so I do apologize. NESARA/GESARA was found by the farmers who had their land taken away. And I've talked about this before. You can go back and you can read this. The government went in and just seized their land, their livestock, all of their stuff. They had an attorney. They fought, went all the way to the Supreme Court. They ruled in favor of the farmers, and this is where NESARA started. Now, a lot of your people, older people that are in government know about this, but they have been completely told to hush, never to talk about it. The white hats have been behind doing things to get everybody prepared to go into the NESARA. Now, NESARA is the part that's for the America. GESARA is for all over the world. And the way it has to roll out is it starts first in the United States, then it goes to the other countries. So if you listen to Donald Trump's speech, he said the vaccines would be first rolled out in the United States and then rolled into the other countries. That's how NESARA is going to go. Now, under NESARA, there's 120 days that all government officials have to step down. then there's another election, and it rolls into the Nasara Gassara. Now, Nasara is a new beginning. This is what our Great Awakening is. It is our new beginning. But people had to be eliminated and taken down. A lot of the evil had to be taken out so we can go into this, because you have to remember, these people don't care about you. They could give a rat's butt. All right? They wanted you to work. They wanted you to be slaves. They wanted to get richer off you. And like I said, we're going up this little thing. You know, we're going to bypass this person. We're going to bypass China. We're going to get all the way to the big kahuna, evil, devil one himself. Okay? This is all him. This is all spears from him. Now, once you understand that more, then you understand that this has not been a political battle for Republican versus Democrat. Okay? This has been good versus evil. A real good versus evil. And I need to get this into your head to understand this. All right? You can't see what's going on. And it's a good thing that a lot of us can't actually see everything, because it's horrifying. There's so many levels of different things that they've been doing. And as you start to peel back the layers to fix things, it gets uglier and uglier and uglier. Ugly. All right? This is where your sex trafficking of children comes from. This is the human harvesting. This is the clones. This is just everything. And it's all going to get exposed, people. All of it. This is where I keep talking about phases. I'm hearing phases. This is the first phase. Now, even though we've brought out evidence, showed you stories, showed you children, pictures, things in people's homes, really terrible art of who has a statue butt naked hanging from their wall, or, you know, mutilated looking children. I mean, that's not art per se for a Christian, God-loving, light, caring, compassionate person. All right, you would not see that in my home. All right, I may have some crazy stuff, you know, maybe lots of butterflies, because butterflies are new beginnings, and they calm me down. So that's why I put those butterflies over the door. I love my ducks. I love my ducks, and that's why I post so many videos of ducks. And I have animals, and I do anything in the world to save an animal. I try to volunteer at Wild at Heart Animal Rescue as much as I can when I have time, because I just love them, because they don't have a voice. So you will not see macabre works of art. All right, you just won't. I mean, you might see a couple of fur balls rolling through the kitchen floor or something, you know, like tumbleweed every now and then when I don't have time to clean properly. But you're not going to see that kind of stuff. That's just not who I am. So you have to, if you go to someone's house and you see some really disturbing art, this is a trigger, ding, 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 saying, hey, wait a second. Something's not right. Your own body tells you things. You've been taught to ignore this stuff as you're just crazy. You're not crazy. Start paying attention to stuff. You see somebody wearing some kind of weird demon-looking symbol tattooed on them, or their chest, or something. You know, you're ding, 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 ding. You know, ooh, don't know about this person. That is a warning. Okay, there's plenty of people out there. So just know. So when you have people in government and you see their home and you see these weird things of art, like a blooded handprint from the movie that Tom Cruise was in, Castaway, know that this is not normal, you know. And why would anybody want to wear a shirt with a bloody handprint thing on there when it actually has a different meaning than what you're thinking? Okay. I know that some people just don't know things and say, oh, I really liked that movie. It was a good movie, you know? Well, yeah, it was. It was a movie about a man who survived and was losing his mind, and he made it back. I mean, yeah. I also liked the movie with Robert Redford where it was just him, and he didn't talk. How can you enjoy a movie where one person is in the movie and does not talk at all? I thought it was a wonderful movie. All right, so sad that Robert Redford is on this list. Heartbroken, because as he's gotten older, I've enjoyed his movies and stuff, but, you know, we have to get over that, and I have to get over that. So you'll have to get over it as well. So like I said, there's just a lot of things going on, people. It's been in our faces. They try to make it normal. I've talked about this to my friends through the years, they keep posting it on TV, putting it in the movies, so you will come accustomed to this being a normal. There's a lot of things that are not normal, all right? Another thing that happened yesterday, which I picked up as a sign, even my son called me last night. I was telling him, I said, it's really weird. It's got to be a sign, but I don't understand what it is. So there were 2 videos that showed up in my feed that are a couple of years old, and they're from Extreme Reality. And anybody who's ever watched her videos, she's very, very compassionate religious. And she'll even break down and cry on her videos. But she does extremely, extremely good investigation work. And you have to respect that. I don't care how much she cries or starts getting on these preaching rants. You have to admire the research that this woman, the hours that she's put in to make these videos. I am going to post the 2 videos that popped up in my feed. I started looking at one of them that I had seen before, but now I'm understanding it in a different light. And I think that's why God made sure they showed up in my feed, because I need you to watch these videos so you will see them in a different light. She does fantastic work. Fantastic work. Please, please, when I post these, take the time. Some of them are long. You can, like I've told you before, when you watch something that's really long and head starts hurting, that's because you're being deprogrammed. And so you have to pause it or stop it, go do something else, look at some birds. I've been posting lots of beautiful birds on my page, different animals, wonderful animal videos, because I want people to be compassionate and understand they have feelings too. So do that. Go do something else, then come back and watch it. Take another break, watch it. Do it in stages, but you need to wake up. You need to understand. So a lot of us that have been either following with me or understanding now what I've been talking about for many years, now understand what I've been doing, and then have even branched out to look at some of the people that I've met and followed, and they're like, okay, we're all together on this. We understand. You also need to rewatch these videos, because now it's gonna click, and you're like, what? Wow, how did I not pick that up the first time? I mean, I listened to it, I was shocked, but now it's making more sense to me. So I think this is what God wanted. So I'm going to put those back on there, and I really, please watch them, please. They're long, they're about an hour long, but like I said, she does fantastic work, and kudos to her and her work. Just like Amazing Polly, kudos to Amazing Polly for the things that she has done, the amazing investigative work. I mean, if you can go back and look at her videos, please do so as well. She breaks them down wonderfully, and she even puts little screens up to show you how each story connects to the bigger picture. Now remember, you can do this, but all of this is in little stages, which all connect to the evil one, all right? All of this, this voting fraud to child trafficking, human harvesting, all this other stuff, this deceiving stuff, crazy murders, influx of children that are gay or transgender to gay frogs. Someone asked me about Alex Jones talking about the gay frogs. Yes. Have you looked at the picture of Aphamy? It's a transgender, all right? Don't think it's just a coincidence. Remember, say it with me, no such thing as a coincidence, okay? Understand that, and this is going to help you in life. It's going to help you when you transition into the light. Remember, it was a gold, warm, wonderful, hugging feeling light that I walked into. I didn't get to see everything. I wasn't supposed to. I was just supposed to be able to feel it so I could tell you. It's going to be wonderful, people. No more worries. It's going to be like living in heaven, almost, okay? And I'm about to cry because I feel like I'm being hugged right now. I just want you to understand, we are going to live in a wonderful, wonderful new awakening, people. You're going to understand so much stuff, and there's going to be so many people who refuse to understand this that are going to commit suicide. So it's very important to understand as much as you can and to knowledge yourself, because people are going to come to you. They're going to come to you and they're going to be crying. They're going to be hysterical. They're going to be mad. They're going to be angry. We're not going to say, I told you so. We're not. You hear me? Do not do that. Be compassionate. Be caring and be loving. And say, I know it took me a bit too, and I promise you this is all going to make sense. Let me see if I can help you understand. And you may have to go back as far as the World War with Germany. You may have to go back farther to the Egyptians. However you want to help them understand how things got into the play that we are. Do whatever you have to do in your own way, your way. Because whatever way is you need to do it is the best way, because each of us are different and God made sure that we were each different. Each of us has a different thing to bring to the table. And I want you to understand, this is why I'm always telling you, don't just listen to what God tells me, what my angels tell me. Listen to other people as well, because we all hear things a little different. We all I can't even talk. I am telling you, this black eye hurts. It's going to be so black tomorrow. Interpret things differently. This is why, like, I'll listen to someone else talk about their vision, and then I immediately see it differently, and then I'll even go back and tell them, this is what I interpret from your vision. And they may not have interpreted. They're like, you know what? That's interesting. Thank you. I do this all the time with my friend at my first job. We throw things at each other because sometimes she can feel things differently than I can, and she comes with me at different stuff, and then I try to interpret what she has. And this is not bad. Doesn't mean you were wrong. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. Doesn't mean either of us are right. It's just different interpretations, and it's not making fun of anybody or saying don't listen to that person. I'm just saying, please reach out. You see someone else who has visions, listen to what they have to say. Does not mean that you have to believe everything they say. Does not mean you have to say, oh, they're much better than Jackie and I need to follow this person. It just means that we're getting different signals. We're on different wavelengths. That's the best way I can explain it. So somebody might be here, somebody else might be here, somebody else might be way up here. We're getting different signals. And it's not like it comes with a journal. You're not born with a journal, you know. Oh, okay, that's what that means, okay? We do it from our heart and from here, okay? So we can get things wrong. We can get things 100% wrong. We can get things a little bit wrong. Doesn't mean that we do it on purpose, and it doesn't make us bad or make us fake or make us liars, because everybody can interpret things differently. Everybody sees things differently. What I might see, somebody else didn't see, but maybe they saw another part of what I saw, okay? And, you know, it's like, okay, you've got this going on over here, but while this is going on, there's something over here that's going on that has something to do with this, but you're not paying attention to that. You're just looking here. Does that make sense? So I might be seeing this and somebody else is seeing this little thing over here. And there might be somebody who's over here seeing this thing, you know? And we're interpreting these different things differently. But when you start to listen to all three of us, it makes a bigger picture, like, ooh, that was cool. Okay, so that's how I interpret why different people can take something and see different versions of it, okay? Like I talk about Sylvia Browne a lot, like the story where the family asked her if her son was alive or dead, and she said, your son is dead. And then it come to find out that later on they found this boy, a teenager, living with this man who kidnapped him, and the boy was alive. And I had so many people at the Hard Rock say, Jackie, I don't like Sylvia Browne because she was wrong. And then it just clicked. No, she wasn't. She was right. The boy that these parents had, his personality, who he was, died. Who they found was a different person in their little boy's body. He was no longer who he used to be. He was a completely different person. So death does not mean you cease to exist. It just means a new beginning. Does this make sense? Okay? So she was not wrong. Who they found was their child, yes. but he was not the child that they brought up, the little boy that they loved and nurtured and just adored. He was no longer that person. He was a completely different person. Now, could he change back to that person? Only time will tell. Chances are he's damaged. He will be a different person and will have different struggles than maybe the struggles he would have had if he had not been kidnapped and went through the life he had gone through. Does this make sense? So, I want y'all to understand. That's how I'm saying interpreting. She was very blunt. God bless her soul. She was blunt, but that's because you have to remember all the years of things that she's seen. So she didn't want to get real emotional with things, so she was just blunt. And I think some of us are still very compassionate. I am. And so a lot of times I can go into there, and then I can look a little bit more, and then I can explain their vision, if that makes sense. And I'm sure other people probably could do it too. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to do because, like I said, we don't see the whole picture. And so it's a gift to be able to help others understand what this person was trying to say, if that makes sense. So just bear with me on things. I'm not saying I am the greatest. I would never, ever say that. I've been doing this since I was a little girl. And I've seen things I don't want to see, and I've seen some wonderful things. And the New Awakening is a wonderful thing. And I want all of us to get there because we all deserve it. All of us, every person on this planet deserves this. So I want to go over this list really quick. Let me put my glasses on here because, you know, I am nearsighted. Is that not the most wonderful thing as you get older to not be able to read anymore? Okay. Now, let me blow this up because, like I said, I can't see. Now, there was something on here. Okay. It says Kamala Harris. It says arrested and waiting tribunes. Now, the reason why we're doing military tribunes is because all of these other parts of our government have been infiltrated by communists, socialists, leftists, whatever you want to call it, people, and they're not about law and order. Now, under NESARA, all people, judges and attorneys, we have to go through school again to learn the Constitution because we're going to go back to the Constitution of the United States. And a lot of these judges do not follow the Constitution. They interpret it the way they want to, or they're just not following it at all. This is why you see people don't get in trouble for things that they should, and others getting in trouble for something that, you know, you think, well, that's ridiculous. Like, here it says Keanu Reeves, and I've talked about this before. It says arrested and executed. Do know if someone has been executed, it's because they did something horrible or it was treason. Treason is death penalty. All of these postal workers that all of a sudden have disappeared, disappeared, that's because they messed with a presidential election. That is conspiracy to mess with an election, which is a felony. It's treason. You can't do it. Like I said, I'm still losing thought, and I know it's because my head just hurts really bad. Let me try to find Loretta Lynch. Here we go. Loretta Lynch. It says arrested and serving life in prison. Now, it doesn't say Gitmo. It doesn't say on a barge. It doesn't say where. Just know that these people have been taken care of. Okay? They have. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg. It says arrested and on house arrest awaiting tribune. All right. Now, I want to talk more about the tribunes. Now, if you go on, is it Monkey something? He tracks all of the flights going to, military flights, going to and coming from. And there's been a lot of flights going into Gitmo. Now, there's nothing there. There's no place for Americans to go and have a great time. I mean, used to, you have very older pictures of people that enjoyed Cuba, and it's very sad what happened to Cuba. But we do have that small part of the island where the Guantanamo Bay is, and they have 2 landing strips on each side of the bay, if this makes sense. And then Gitmo, the prison, is like right there on the coastline. Okay, this is the bottom of Cuba. This is the top of Cuba here. Okay, so they're coming out of Florida, some of them, and they're going directly to these runways. A lot. And you're thinking, well, maybe that's just normal, Jackie. Well, remember Obama closed Gitmo. Closed it. Took all the prisoners out of it. They said, yeah, no. We need to put them through our justice system. Well, our justice system has been infiltrated by very bad people. Why do you think Obama wanted it to get out of military jurisdiction? Think about it. The military right now is the only branch that has not been infiltrated. And the ones that were infiltrated, if you notice, you've seen a lot of generals retire, getting fired, whatever, disappearing. It's because they were crooked. Okay? The military right now is the only little thing that we can honestly say is okay, is safe. We are safe with our military. All right? We're in God's hands with our military people. The military does not want to hurt us. All right? Do know that there are flights going to other places like Pittsburgh and things like that, and that is because when everything turns over to Trump being the president, there's going to be riots. They're going to send the little minions out, and they're going to want to burn things and hurt people and destroy businesses, because this is what they want to do, because they're spoiled little brats. And it is going to be our National Guard that is going to go in and say no. I also think in some places it may be worse, and you may have maybe stronger forces come in. So do not be surprised if you see a tank rolling down the road, because you know they can throw fire at it. They can shoot it with their little BB guns, or they can stab it with their, little knives that they carry, or their bats with barbed wire on it. It's not going to hurt those tanks. Don't be surprised, because these people will be rounded up and they will be shipped out to other countries. China, probably where they should be anyway, because they hate this country. Do you know that the only promise that was given to you is that you're going to die? And some people go, what do you mean, Jackie? When you are born, you take your first breath out of the womb, you are technically dying. Okay? There's no idea, because it does not tell you when you're going to die. You could die within hours, days, years. Okay? We're all dying. We don't know when. Whenever it's time, whenever he decides that we need to come home. That's the only guarantee, the only promise that you have, is that you're going to die. And if more people would realize that and understand everything else that happens to you in your life is a gift, and whether or not you want it or you want to earn it is up to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's tough love, but just because you go to work but you don't do any work, and then you don't understand why you don't get promoted, well, what have you done to be promoted? Have you put in the hours? Have you put in the labor? Have you showed the drive to have what it takes to be promoted? Are you a good leader? Are you a good talker? If not, then you're not going to be promoted. And don't tell me, well, I've been with this company for 15 years. I know everything there is. There's something that you're doing that's not getting you promoted. And you have to look inside of yourself. And once you figure out what it is, you are the only one that can fix it. Does this make sense? So quit saying that because you've been with a company for a long time, you deserve it. Well, if you did deserve it, you would have gotten it. I'm sorry, all right? I'm sorry. I hate to say that, but it's true, okay? Not everybody is a born leader, all right? I am a Leo. I am a born leader, and I have a big mouth, and it gets me in trouble because I speak my piece, and I have no shame about it. Anybody that's worked with me knows. If I don't like something, I will tell you. I have moved up into high positions in just about every job I've ever had. and I take some slack for it, but I always, if I make a decision, I ask someone to do something and it was the wrong decision, I'll stand and say, well, I told them to. This is what I thought needed to be done. And this is the way I handled it because I thought this was the best way to do it. I just haven't decided that I want to move up in either of my two jobs that I have now. I am older. I don't want the stress. I don't need to prove that I can do it because I know I can. So I choose to stay where I am. And I'm content with that. I am. If I want to get up into a higher position somewhere, then I'll speak up and say, hey, I think I'm ready. Let me know what I need to do, and I'll do it. Because I would. That's all you have to be. You have to be willing. You have to be able. You have to be committed. All right? These are not things that are given to you. These are things that you and only you can do. So if you're watching this and you're saying this all the time and going around complaining, then you need to look in the mirror. And doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I need to tell you the truth. It's Monkeywerx, WERX, and he just posted a new video. It just popped up on my screen. So that's who you can follow on YouTube to get the latest flights. Now, like I said, the reason we're doing the military instead of the regular judicials is because all of these judges need to relearn the Constitution. This is why every pick for the Supreme Court, Trump has made sure that they knew the Constitution and swore an oath to follow the Constitution. All right? I also want to point something out too real quick because I keep hearing Ted Cruz in my head. Ted Cruz, at first when he was running for president, I didn't know what to think of him. And I kept telling Mama, no, he's not the president. My mama could say, no, he's going to be the president. I said, no, Mama. I understand now why I knew Ted Cruz would not be the president. Because Ted Cruz is where he needs to be. Not putting down Ted Cruz because I actually really think he's a good guy, if that makes sense. But God needed him to stay where he is. He knows the Constitution. All right? And he is going to present some very, very good arguments going forward in these court cases. And if you haven't seen any posts where I've posted where Texas is suing for the other states, do follow this because Ted Cruz knows the Constitution. Ted Cruz could actually be a Supreme Court justice. All right? He is where he needs to be. So Ted Cruz, you can trust Ted Cruz, okay? This is what God wanted me to tell you right now. It just popped in my head. He wanted to make sure I told you that. So follow Ted Cruz. Watch what he's doing. Understand what he's doing because he is where he needed to be at this particular point in time in his life. He is where he needs to be. Okay, whether or not Ted Cruz will ever be a president, I don't know because the next president did not look like Ted Cruz in my vision. So I'm not quite sure. I have my ideas, but I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to skip over here to Meryl Streep. It says arrested and executed. Now, Meryl Streep is not a very nice person. You could actually see her aura if you are able to do that. So going through the military on these court cases is because whatever they say, that's it. You don't get to skip, go, whatever. If they say treason, well, you're going to be executed. And if you didn't know, Trump's administration bought back the firing range. Now, why this is important to understand, because from what I am hearing, when Bill Clinton was executed, he chose the firing range, but he refused to face them. They had to shoot him in the back. Now, another thing that I had heard a few different times was that some of these things will be shown on TV. I think like a pay-per-view, someone was saying maybe you'll pay $1 or $2 or something like that. And they're not going to show every one of them. But the reason that they're going to show some of these things is because so people can see it with their own eyes. Because some people say, if I can't see it with my own eyes, I won't believe it. Well, a lot of things that we see with our own eyes, we shouldn't believe because of the trickery, because of the magic. Hollywood, where magic happens. Okay? What is a Hollywood? It is a stick that people used in magic. Hollywood. All right? Look it up. Understand. Okay? They say this is where magic happens. That's not a coincidence that they use a stick for their title of where they are that is performed in magic, and they say this is where magic happens. Do you understand yet? Okay. Let's see if there's somebody new in here. Okay, Selena Gomez. A long time ago, I said that Selena Gomez would have the same fate as the other Disney females. Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Hilary Duff, what's her name? Can't even think of her name now. Anyway, it says arrested and waiting tribunal. So, yes, Selena Gomez is part of the Disney crew. I believe these children are raped. I believe that they are... I can't even talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. But this is why they look all innocent and cutesy, and then they come out and they get all sexualized, and it's just terrible. Let's see another one in here. Okay, here we go. Justin Timberlake, arrested and waiting tribunal. All right. Let's go to this one here. I'm not going to read all of these. Anybody wants this? Okay, we'll do Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, arrested and on house arrest awaiting tribunal. All right. These are just people everywhere. Woody Harrelson, arrested and executed. Well, you say, well, he's going to be in that new Spider-Man movie. What if I told you? CGI effects, body doubles, old footage of people. You can take someone's face and plaster it, computerize it over someone else's face. There's just so many things you can do, people. Don't believe all the hype. All of this stuff will be shown to be proven correctly at one point in time. Like I said, just follow. When you see your favorite celebrity, say, hey, I quit acting. I'm giving it up. I'm moving to Tahiti, and I'm going to live and drink bourbon and Coke for the rest of my life. Okay, whatever. All right, they're just letting you know why you're not going to see them anymore. And if you go back and you look on this list, you're going to see their name either that's been executed or is awaiting trial with the military. And the military is the one who is going to be doing all of the court stuff. It's not going to be your regular justice systems, okay? All of these people in the FBI, all of these postal workers, all of these people involved in the voter fraud, all these governors, all of these city councilmen, down to, I don't know, whoever else. A lot of people are going to be arrested. And it's very important that you understand this. I don't know how else to tell you. Surfing with Santa. Okay, she just asked her mailman. She said, why are certain packages going to certain states taking longer? I'm getting a lot of feedback saying I haven't received my package yet. You know what's going on? Mailman. Well, a lot of postal workers are getting quit or fired. We have a shortage of postal workers. So she comes back and she's like, what do you mean? What states have a shortage, a real bad shortage? He goes, well, Pennsylvania. What is going on right now in Pennsylvania? Okay? A lot of voter fraud. Whether or not you want to believe it or not, postal workers would take the voter absentees and throw them in ditches, rent storage sheds, throw the whole baskets in the storage sheds. That is tampering with an election. And what is that? Yes, treason. Okay? So, like I said, these countries, China, has been putting money into different things, and then other people are taking the money that they're getting from China, and they're paying people or they're blackmailing them into doing these things. And once again, if you're seeing this video and you know someone who's done it, you're part of it, please reach out to the Trump administration, turn yourself in, and sing like a canary, because treason is not good for you, okay? You can't come back from the dead. I don't care how many times dead people have voted in this country. I am not foreseeing a vision of armed guards standing in a cemetery waiting for the people to crawl out of their graves and go cast a vote for the next presidential election. All right? We have a congressman who is putting forth a law saying it is against the law for dead people to vote. Yes, this stuff is real. This is really happening. Why do we have to make a law like that? Why? Okay? I guarantee you, in next election, if you get you a chair and you sit in the cemetery, you're not going to see anybody come out the grave. All right? It just doesn't happen. Well, I watched The Walking Dead. Well, it doesn't happen. So, get that out your mind. I think I've covered everything that he wanted me to get across to you. I bounced all over the place. Once again, I do apologize. But remember, if you don't remember anything else out of this, everything has the level until you get to the top. And the top is the devil, is Satan, is evil. Everything else trickles down, okay? Each level has their own purpose that they do. But everything comes from there. Now, once you understand that, then you understand what we're fighting. Why we have to take the levels out, all right? There was a reason why we didn't see mass arrests. This is why we didn't see massive perp walks. This is why we haven't seen a lot of things. Everything had to happen a certain way. Other people refuse to wake up, so things have to happen a certain way, gentler, so they don't lose their minds. We're still going to have lots of suicides. People will kill themselves, and I'm not joking, and I'm not making fun of it. It's sad because people worship a lot of these idols. And what does the Bible tell us? Do not worship idols. You have American Idol on TV. People worship and follow these kids. They just can't get enough of them. God said, do not worship idols. I cannot be any clearer than that. And like I said, I know this is a hard pill to swallow. For those of you who have your house covered in Elvis posters, Jimmy Dean, Brad Pitt, your favorite rock band, and just everything. Okay, look, I'm wearing an Aerosmith t-shirt, okay? Who is on the list of being executed? Yes. Why am I wearing this t-shirt? Well, 1, it is clean. 2, I'm doing housework, so I don't care what gets on it. It does not mean that I worship Aerosmith. It does not mean that I worship Steven Tyler. I went to this concert many, many years ago. All right? And yes, I have seen plenty of these people on this execution list or waiting tribunes. I have watched their movies. Okay? I've gone to their concerts. I listened to their music. I've sing their songs in the car, in the shower, whatever. Stevie Nicks is on there, guys. Everybody knows how much I love Stevie Nicks through the 80s. I love the magic feeling of her music because, you know, I'm psychic. I didn't understand it. It attracted me. The music did. All right? Doesn't make me a bad person, but apparently Stevie Nicks is. And that breaks my heart. But when she came across and said that Fleetwood Mac would not be if not for her and her abortion, then I was like, whoa, Stevie Nicks isn't who I thought she was. Well, I didn't know her personally. I didn't follow her life. I didn't dedicate my whole life, you know, going through every step of hers. So I was shocked. But what do I keep saying? Get over it, Jackie. Quit being shocked, because everything that you saw was not what you saw. And that's just the best way to tell you. Everything you think you know, you don't know. Everything you think you're seeing, you're not really seeing. You're only being shown what they want you to see and how they want you to see it. So you'll interpret it the way that they want you to, not the way that you should. So, God's saying, hang in there. He's got this. White hats are in control. We're going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. I don't want anyone to give up any hope. All right? I think when we wake up Christmas Day, I think our gift will be knowing that President Trump is the president. I think it is going to be a very large celebration January 20th when he is re-inaugurated. I do see that everything will kind of shut down for that 120 days for NESARA to kick in. I don't know. I'm hearing General Flynn. So don't be surprised if General Flynn has a much bigger part in this. I don't know. I'm just hearing his name. So I don't know what role he has to play in this, but he has a role. Just trust. You have to trust God. All right? I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm not asking you to trust Trump. I'm asking you to trust God. And if you love God and you pray to him and you ask him directly, he will answer your questions. You just have to understand in your heart and your mind that when something pops in your head, that it is God. Because I've been telling y'all, you don't have to go to a church to communicate with him. You go to the church to celebrate and to feed and share the energy and feel the love. All right? You pray to God. You talk to him directly. You talk to Jesus directly. Say, dear Lord, I'm confused. And I know there's a bigger plan. Can you just give me something for hope? It might be a gift from a friend. It might be money that was owed to you that finally appeared. It may be someone buys you lunch. It may be a song comes on that you really like. Maybe an idea just pops in your head. He gives you the answer. You have to see it for what it is and quit saying it's a coincidence. Because let's say it one last time. There is no such thing as a coincidence. Things happen the way they're supposed to. And I'm going to leave that on my final note. If you have any questions, want me to go farther into anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Please, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll do what I can. I love each and every one of you. Have a wonderful day. Like I said, things are going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. Just trust the Lord, because he's got this. It is his turn. The evil has to dissipate, and it is. I can see it. So, love you. Bye-bye.